Hello, everybody. Give me 1 second, just getting here, trying to get going live everywhere. We'll see if it goes for me today. Sometimes it does not. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just trying to make sure. I just like to try to go on Facebook. This is why I didn't promise Facebook, to be honest, because lately it's been a little glitchy. But I think we are live on YouTube, so we'll come back to Facebook after the fact. But I'm glad you're all here on Zoom. Welcome. Excited to see you here. Say hello in the chat, and let's get this party started. You are here for my favorite topic, so let me just open my notes really quick as well. Sorry about that, you guys. Of course, technology, you just get it all set, and then still sometimes there's little things. Okay, so I just want to have all my notes open here because it's so easy for me to just get distracted and not follow our agenda. And we have a lot of amazing things to cover today. So I want to first of all just thank you for being here. Welcome, everyone. Super excited to be here for this amazing call, which we're going to be talking about the Dolphin codes of healing and soul remembrance across timelines. And I'll also give you a preview of a retreat that I'll be doing where we'll be swimming with the dolphins. But either way, whether you're interested in the retreat, if you have loved dolphins forever and you're like, this just sounds amazing, we're going to give. My intention of the call is to have it be an activation. We're going to do an amazing activation at the end. And just even the whole topic of conversation will start to hopefully waken remembrances for you about times of ancient Lemuria, of Atlantis, of Egypt, when we were working with the dolphins. So say hello. And if you're new to me, let me know if you're new for me as well, because there's a lot of new people here, I think, as well as a lot of people who have been with me for a long time. So thank you for joining me. Let's go ahead and hey, Maria, welcome. Oh, welcome, Kathy. Awesome. Oh, from Bulgaria and Ontario. I always love to see where people are from. So share where you're from in the world, because that's always fun to connect globally, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Today, what we're going to be covering is we're going to talk about how dolphin sonar frequency can support healing on a deep cellular level. We're going to talk a bit about dolphins. So whether, like I said, whether dolphins have been on your heart since you were a little kid, and it's like, this sounds really cool to hear more, or maybe it's new, they've just been beginning to call to you. I want to make this perfect for you, okay? So we're going to talk about just dolphins in general, how they support the healing. They're amazing healers, very conscious beings. We're going to talk about, I'm going to share a little bit of my personal stories of healing and transformation and fun with the dolphins. I've swam with them over 55 times, always in the wild, always in their own natural habitat. That's the only way I will swim with them. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm also going to talk a little bit about how dolphins help us align to our highest timeline of joy, presence, and the 5D unity consciousness. And how they really are connected with Lemuria, ancient Egypt, and Atlantis, and help that we're going to do a guided journey to actually help you awaken your remembrance to times in Atlantis, Lemuria, and Egypt as well. So very powerful activation that we'll do towards the end. I'm also going to share a little bit about going deeper about the Swim with the Wild Dolphins retreat that I have going on in 2026. It's already getting filled up, so there's not that many spots left. So you want to check that out if you're interested in that. If you love this topic today, I want you to walk away with value and healing and activations today. And if you like this today, you're going to love the retreat. So I have one, it's all around awakening your soul gifts and ancient lineages in the sacred waters of Sataya, which is in the Red Sea of Egypt. So that is what we're going to cover today. So yes, again, thank you for being here with me. And this is really more than just a conversation. This is going to be initiating a deeply sacred remembrance within you. At least that's my intention. And a remembrance beyond this lifetime, beyond this body, beyond this moment, right? Dolphins are ancient beings, right? They're soul allies here as teachers, as ancient teachers, to help us remember. And that is what working with the energy of dolphins, whether it's through guided activations like we're going to do today, or swimming with them and playing with them and having fun with them in the water, is all about awakening that within you, awakening those remembrances and awarenesses and multidimensional gifts within you as well. So I want to just take a moment. We have a lot of people on the call here. So I just want to take a moment to just take like just a couple minutes, if you can. If you're driving, of course, just have your intentions. But if you're able to just tune in and close your eyes for a second and put your hand on your heart and take a couple of deep breaths in together. And just take a few nice deep breaths in. Really drop into your heart, drop into your body. And just start to open to that, the energy that's here for you today, right? You were feeling called to show up here for today, right? Whether you're live or on the replay, it's going to be just as powerful. So just tuning into your heart, opening the energy of the heart, of the joy, of just your intention for what it is you hope to gain, right? Is it clarity? Is it just activation? Is it, you don't know why, but you're here, right? Your soul guided you here and you listened. Or maybe you are curious about joining the retreat and you want to go deeper into understanding if it's the right fit for you, feeling into that. Whatever it is, just have your own personal intention and just give yourself the gift of just being present in this moment while we are together over the next probably about 60 to 75 minutes together. And when you feel complete, you can, actually, one more thing. I want to open up and invite the energy of the dolphins, right? The energy consciousness of the dolphins. The dolphins have amazing wisdom. They're amazing guides and healers. We'll just invite them, and the wisdom of the Satya, the energy of the consciousness of Satya. Satya is like a living portal. It's a powerful portal of light and of wisdom, of consciousness as well. So just inviting that healing energy to fill our sacred space that we are sharing together in the ethers all around the world. We get to have this experience at the same time together. Beautiful. And when you feel complete, you can open your eyes. I just like to take a moment to kind of the day and give everyone a chance to sync your intentions, because when we drop into our body and into our heart, we're more present. And when we're in our heart and we're more present, that's our power, right? That's our point of power as conscious creators. And each one of you on the call will inform the stories I share, and a lot of the things that come through the activations are really me reading and channeling and working with the energy of all of you. I have the agenda, but every time I do a live call, even on a similar topic, totally different energy comes through. So thank you for being here and sharing this space. So the first thing I want to talk about is the dolphin frequencies, right, as healing technology, right? Some of you might not know a lot about dolphins, but dolphins, they emit a powerful sonar that does not just bounce sound, right? It affects us on a cellular level, on an emotional memory level. It helps to actually shift our DNA, which is amazing that that's even possible, right? Science is catching up with a lot of these things that we know in a spiritual world if we've been doing this healing work for a long time. But dolphins, their sonar energy is like this divine sounding board that happens. And within that, it helps us recalibrate ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually just by being in their presence. It's amazing. Many people have reported, many people have reported, not just in my circle of people that I've gone swimming with the dolphins with, but just, in the world, have reported spontaneous healing, emotional releases from being in their presence. So, and it's not just a coincidence, because these frequencies that they embody fully harmonize us with joy, with love, with being present, with embodying ourselves, with embodying our spirit. So that being in that energy is an automatic healing for us, even if we're just like oblivious and having fun, or even people who have no idea about spiritual stuff that we're talking about here, right? They're still going to, you can almost like not help yourself, but to smile. It's like, I remember like when I first, like the first retreat I went, where I was swimming with the wild dolphins for about 5 times. We went swimming with about 5 days. And I was just like, I get out of the water on the boat, and I was like, I was just blissed out. There's no words. Nobody has words, but there's just like, your energy is just on this high, because you just so naturally can be present and vibrate with what they're vibrating at normally, right? So it creates this spontaneous, immediate shift just being in their presence, okay? Because they embody joy, love, inclusiveness, community, all of these things. As vibrational beings, they're always living in the present moment, having fun. And so just being with them creates a frequency shift on all levels. Okay. And then you start to add conscious awareness and intention with that as healers and as intuitives and empaths and sensitives like we are. And also just our ability as sensitives and empaths to really go in and match their energy and be with them in a respectful way opens up an entirely new level of communication with them that I've witnessed being on many, like I said, I've swum with them many times, and there's other people in the water that aren't maybe in our group, maybe not as conscious minded at times, especially more in Hawaii, not in Sataya so much, but in Hawaii which they don't have swimming anymore because it got too overcrowded there. And so they don't allow it anymore. But for many times I swam there, and you could see that some people would have, like, I would always have Dolphin, like our group, because we were just able to be calm and not chasing and, allow them to come up to us with our energy, and that communication would just happen naturally. Healing and communication and telepathy would happen naturally. Whereas there could be other people that'd be like, oh man, I didn't get with them at all. And it's like, but they weren't able to be as connected, right? They were maybe they didn't understand or know how to not chase her, you know what I mean? How to be in their energy of just being open. And so when you match consciousness and intention, like all of us in my community are, it is magical. It literally unlocks something new each time, but each time is equally powerful. Okay. So they are amazing healers. Okay. And they have definitely awakened a lot of my psychic gifts because they communicate telepathically. Like they're communicating through without talk, but they're communicating for even hundreds of miles of distance. They're communicating from away across the ocean with this technology, with their sonar technology. So it's amazing. And that is really what's happening. If we're going to call it what we would call, that would be, it's like a telepathic connection, right? That happens. And so within that, it definitely has awakened my ability of telepathy as well in a big way, and many other things, many levels of healing as well. Now, in terms of how they relate to like Lemuria and Atlantis and Egypt in particular, and we're going to do a guided journey to help experience kind of an activation for you personally, if you feel called to any of those lifetimes. I'd love to know in the chat as well, like, have you always been fascinated with dolphins, or is this new for you? I know, like, I didn't remember this until I found a report. I actually did a report. We got to pick any animal, and I chose the dolphins back in the 4th grade. Completely forgot about it for a long time until about 2009 when I saw my first, where I got to swim with them for the first time in the wild. But it's like they really have always been with me, right? Part of my soul agreement, really. They're healers, they're guides, right? And then also, if you feel called or connected with Egypt, Atlantis, or Lemuria, and you don't have to have an amazing time with the dolphins, but I just kind of like to get a sense of hues here. And I always like to come back and look at the chats. If I can't get to it all now, I definitely always come back afterwards and look at things as well. I lost my hearing a year ago after doing 3 months of dolphin healing. My hearing has returned, and the doctors couldn't understand how a permanent loss has returned to fully hearing without any surgery or medical intervention. That's amazing, Susie. Absolutely. And I believe, I know it, right? There's so many different kinds of this, of people reporting this, right? And just being in the water with them so many times and having a lot of internal, deep-rooted healing and emotional things that I'll share a little bit about my personal experiences later today is amazing. But that is just so powerful, right? Wow, I just remembered the image of me swimming with the dolphins has been one that helped me with my mediumship and raising my vibration to prepare and connect. It was one of my happiest moments, and dreams come true. It was so amazing, Dawn. And you know what? I really believe, we're connecting with our dolphin guides. What's funny is I just got back from Moorea, where I swam with the humpback whales. And I literally just yesterday, I was telling the retreat group this in our thread. I just had a dream too, where we had a male singing whale and then he came to me in the dream and told me his name and was like, reminded me that he's there as a guide. And so oftentimes the whales and dolphins and the ocean, so many animals in the sea, but the whales and dolphins in particular embody as above, so below. They're coming from Sirius, right? From the Sirius B system. And so it's like their cosmic energy, cosmic consciousness, right? So as above, so below, they're anchoring in that connection to that 5D and above frequency on Earth for us. And when we get to come back to them and connect with them as conscious people, right? We get to awaken all of that multidimensional aspects within ourselves as well, because their presence is just going to initiate that, but also the telepathic and the healing and the intention and the communication that happens between them and gets transmitted back and forth through the eyes and through their energy and through their awareness of us. Like I've had them do literal sonar clicks, pause me on the side and just start to work with me on a healing level, doing like these sonar clicking things, it's like, and I could just feel it, right? I'll tell you more about that in a minute, but basically they are divine cosmic wisdom keepers, right? And spiritual healers. And they have been holding this space for us until we've been ready to tap back into it. And it's really coming back online for those of us that are in my circles as well. Many of you, I'm sure, feel very called to this energy here. I'm just checking on the YouTube because my computer kind of went dark. Okay, it seems to be okay. All right, so Lemurian, Atlantis, and Egyptian consciousness. So in Lemuria in particular, and this is just quick bullet points, right? But in Lemuria, the dolphins and humans co-created, right? They were seen as wisdom keepers, as teachers. Like when I look in the past lives and read my lifetimes and other people's lifetimes, I saw a lot of times where the leaders of the tribe, right, would go in and they would go into the ocean and they would commune with the consciousness of the ocean. They would commune with the whales and with the dolphins, and they would seek counsel. And you could just see where literally your clairvoyance, your knowing, like all of your psychic gifts get activated, and they would commune and they would actually exchange information. They'd bring back this wisdom, and then that's how they brought that wisdom into their tribes, into how they led their life. They worked in harmony with nature. And during that time, when we were into the times of a Lemurian, we were much more connected with our multidimensional gifts as well. And so again, we co-created with the earth, with the animals, with harmony, and dolphins in particular were definitely wisdom keepers, teachers, and healers that supported us during that times that we played with and enjoyed as a part of our family, as a part of our community. So that's really powerful. And sometimes just, being in the water with them will help you start to activate those gifts and aspects within yourself and those remembrances within yourself, the larger truth of who you are, right? The totality of who you are, which is far beyond this body and this lifetime. In Atlantis, in particular, the dolphin consciousness was also a part of, and this is, they're all kind of overlapping, but just to kind of highlight some differences. In Atlantis, the dolphin consciousness was a part of advanced energy systems and crystalline healing technology, right? During the times of Atlantis, there was an acceleration of advanced technology, especially involving crystals and crystalline healing and crystalline energy. And the dolphin consciousness was a big part of that, and still holds that wisdom and information as well. And so when we tap back into them and start to awaken that, many of you, likely healers from Atlantis, Lemuria, like these times will resonate with you. Let's see, dolphins are amazing. I want to learn more and connect with them. I'm interested in learning about Egypt mostly, but would love to connect, and I'm not as familiar with them. Also, Alicia, actually, this particular dolphin retreat that I'm doing is in Egypt, right? Which is extra special, and a very special space in the Red Sea. But yes, so I will share more about that at the end, but that's amazing. So in Egypt, the dolphins, in ancient times when you look at, because I don't know if you've been to Egypt, but there'll be scrolls and hieroglyphs, right? With dolphin imagery and water temples and holding codes of resurrection, of remembrance, of healing, of all of these things, again, as revered beings. And during the times of Egypt, there's definitely advanced civilization support, right? There's definitely advanced civilization support there. You can't go there and actually see the pyramids and everything in real life and go, did they actually just do that all on their own? No way, right? You could see and you could feel it, and they revered it, and it's kind of in there. You can see that imagery throughout that time as well, and so it's absolutely part of ancient Egypt as well, right? In the Red Sea. Let's see here. I have tremendous interest in Lemuria, Atlantis, and Egypt, water and whales, all of it. I love it, Debbie. That's so cool. I know. And it's interesting. I started really feeling called to lead retreats, right? It's been on my heart for a long time to do. And I started leading retreats, and it just went like where I was getting called to go. I realized after I kind of set them up was all about Lemuria, Atlantis, and Egypt. It's like Mount Shasta's Lemurian hub, right? Then and more. And then we've got Morea, we're swimming with the humpback whales, huge Lemurian energy as well. And then Egypt, I'm taking people on 12-day tours to like the pyramids and all the things. And then the Sataya, which is the dolphins in Egypt, it's like all these times of Atlantis, Lemuria, and Egypt are definitely, for those of us that are awakened, we're really being called as the consciousness of the earth, of the collective, is being shifted through this massive awakening. And we're on the front end of that. And this isn't a hierarchy better than worse. We're all on our own spiritual paths, and it's perfect for wherever anybody's at. But as old souls here on a call like this, we're kind of on the leading edge in the sense of we're awakened at this time, where the rest of the collective, there's a lot of the percentage-wise collective still awakening, but there's a huge catalyst of awakening happening because the earth is becoming more crystalline, which means we're becoming more crystalline, which is kind of forcing the evolution of humanity to evolve and awaken as a whole, right? And so if we're conscious to that and we get to use that and work with the energies, many of us as sensitives and light workers are being called back to these places where we've walked before to get the activation. It's like both, right? Light workers is carrying in light, right? So we're activating ourselves by going back to these places and walking and being in the energy and reflecting with the dolphins in this case, right? Or wherever you're being called to go. And then we activate ourselves, and we get to take that and drop that information and light back to where we are in our home. So we're bringing light and we're gritting the earth and activating the energy above and below for ourselves first, and then really for the collective. And that's why a lot of us are feeling called to different places at this time, right? Because we're bringing back that energy and information within ourselves so that we can ultimately be of service to humanity, right? And so that's very exciting. Now, in terms of like timeline healing and soul activations, the dolphins, again, they help us collapse timelines. They release density, fear-based patterns stored in the body, emotions, wounds in the body, right? And they also, as much as they are healers, they're also activators, right? Because they're in such the 5D and above frequency, they're embodying these higher frequencies as physical beings, like we did in the times of Atlantis and Lemuria. Humans, we've evolved out of that, but we're evolving back towards that, like I just explained. It's an automatic, like a divine sounding board. And so it's just like, you can be more embodied with yourself in their presence, which ultimately acts as a catalyst for deep healing, right? Deep healing and deep active and high level activations at the same time, right? Those things are going hand in hand and happening simultaneously while having fun being in the water with them, just because of the frequency they emit. But also it gets to be a step further because they're so telepathic and communicative and intuitive. I'll share a few of my stories in a little bit about like how such clear communication has happened with them so many times that, I just know it's just like, wow, this is so like real, right? And just being in the presence of the playfulness, their open heart, it helps to clear the mind. It brings you into the present moment, which then is also a gateway for you to connect with your higher self and your intuition and your clarity and your healing and your soul's blueprint, right? Because it activates that within you. And once you've been in the water with them, it's like you're going to be forever changed in a positive way. There's no way you can be in the water with them and not be changed for the positive. And then you add something like being at a retreat where in Sataya, there's a pod of dolphins that lives there. There's like resident dolphins that live there, right? Out in the beautiful middle of the Red Sea in this beautiful clear crystalline turquoise waters of Sataya, which is a breathing portal in itself, away from technology, away from people. It's just this powerful little portal place where when they go out at night and hunt and eat, they come back here and they play and rest in the day. And so you're literally swimming with them 2 and 3 times a day for the whole week, because they're just right there, right? Like 5-minute little Zodiac boat, less than that. Sometimes they're right at our boat. But if anything, you could see them. It's just like, it's not like you're going on a boat swim like I have in the past, where you have to go find them and then catch up and hope that there's some that want to play with you and then get in with them. Still amazing. This is like, they're just there, right? So you can swim with them for a couple of hours a day for multiple times a day, 2 and 3 times a day on average, right? That's like, you cannot get out of that experience and not be changed for the better, whether that's healing or activating. And it's always very personal. The dolphins are very very intuitive as well. And so again, as an intuitive person, right, setting intention, being in a group, first of all, of intuitive people who want to now amplify the energy and have a group intention of personally healing and aligning and activating their highest selves, right, which is ultimately the people that I work with and who are attracted to me and my work, right? Well, when we're together, of course, groups always amplify energy, right? And then dolphins are so sensitive and intuitive and awakened themselves that they respond to that immensely. I remember that one of the first times I went to go swim with the wild dolphins, I was with a group of healers as well. And one of the medium channelers said, go swim with the wild dolphins like the sexual being that you are. And I'm like, how do you do that? At this point, it might have even been before my first dolphin swim, but regardless, it was the first week of ever swimming with them. And I'm like, okay, go swim with them like the sexual being that I am. How do I do that? Right. So anyways, it was there. But that particular trip, my personal intention and part of my path, this is like in 2009, the first time I ever got to swim with the dolphin, was healing like past relationship trauma, like basically sacral chakra stuff, right? Like romantic relationship, like heartbreak, abuse, different types of things like that. Deep level healing on like past relationships. Okay, that was kind of the theme that I was personally going in with. Now the people in the group had their own personal thing, and the dolphins worked with them however they worked with them. But in this case, that was the next step. So I get in the water, and we got a super pod, which I didn't realize how special this was. But there's like 17 different types of dolphin, and there's like 400 of them. It was huge, like dolphin soup, just for a couple of hours. But there's this one big spotter dolphin that was like climb up, and all of a sudden have you ever seen like the you'll often see like the picture, because how they have Nookie it's like this, right? I'll show you a video of a quick video clip of my swim where they were, a couple different swims that I had, but they're like this. Like if you ever seen a soulmate card, right, with the dolphins, often you see them in this position with one another because that's how they love on each other, basically. So anyways, all of a sudden this dolphin was going down. I was swimming with them. He dove down, and we both started spiraling downward in the same position. And I remember popping up, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was like we were having sex, and I was like, wait a second. That was exactly what I was told as my next step to do. And somehow, right, the synchronicity but it wasn't coincidence. It's the synchronicity of me being open and aligned for what my intentions were, a dolphin picking up on that and being with me and working with that, right? That same trip, I had a couple of dolphins where I was swimming along, and he's like, and at this point I've had lots of telepathic communication, so I know it was real, but I still question it sometimes, right? It was like earlier on. And he's like, the energy of the dolphin was like, just pause, like stop swimming. And I'm like, I don't want to stop swimming because I don't want to lose my dolphin, because you're swimming with him like eye to eye. It's so fun, right? So I was kind of like, I was hearing, just pause and float. And I'm like arguing with it a little bit because I didn't want to lose my dolphin, right? Because I was having so much fun. I'm like, no, just pause. And I was like, fine. So I paused and I peeked when I opened to make sure he was still there, are you still there? And he was, and he just started doing this. Like we were by ourselves, and he kind of pulled me off to the side and just started doing this sonar clicking. It sounds like a bike chain. It's a different sound, and they're because they're having fun communicating. This is like a click, 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 click. And he started like waving his nose basically up and down my body, scanning my body. And I was just like, whoa. And I shook off, and I was like, that was like an intensely amazing energy healing. And like a minute or two, it felt like time stopped though, right? And then he went off. That same week, my intention, right? Another group of dolphin comes up, and they're like, they kind of pulled me off. It was a group of two or three, and they pulled me off to the side, and all of a sudden they started kind of having sex with each other. But they like to do that a lot. But they're polyamorous in this way, right? They community share. So it was like one, and then they changed, and it was another, and they're kind of having this threesome. Like, why would they guide me over here to like view this? And then all of a sudden I could hear them, I could feel them kind of chuckle, like, you humans are just so serious. You just need to lighten up, right? So the whole time my experience with the dolphins, 100% different than other people's experiences, but each person on the trip had their own equally amazing, unique experiences with the dolphin based on their own intention for healing and awakening at that time. They tap into it, they pick up on it, and if you're open to it and available for it, they work with you in this way, right? I mean, that's just like skimming the surface of some of the things. This last time I was in Sataya, again, we kind of had a group healing of like the feminine energy, the womb healing, and different things. And these two dolphins were like, they let me in their pod, and they were just like doing this figure eight side by side. They'd come up, and then they'd do this figure eight below my womb. They'd come up, and they did it about 8 times. And then one of them just stuck with me for about 15 minutes, slowly paced, letting me kind of keep up with them. And I was like, whoa, okay. It just happens. But in the midst of it, you're just having a lot of fun. Right? So these are just like a few little experiences, but it's fascinating. And then you can hear other people that are swimming with them with different and healing intentions and have their own personal experiences with them as well. So the telepathic communication with them is very strong and very real. They're very aware, like almost like how your higher self doesn't need to, on a human level, we want to mentally understand our intentions and what we're creating and how we're going to do it and all that. But really, on an energy level, we're setting the energy for what we want, and our higher self always knows, never forgets, even if we just think it one time, right? It's kind of like how law of attraction of Esther Hicks will talk about the vortex. Your vortex is there. It's built. It's been built as soon as you had the idea. It's just the rocket of desire's there. It's there, right? Well, dolphins just kind of matched out higher frequency energy. Know that, and so that you can harmonize together in a way that they're helping you, right? Align with your next steps. Align with your healing. Align with your activation. Right. So it's pretty fascinating and amazing. Some of the experiences I've had, but that was just one example of some of the things that I think it's fun to hear people's stories a little bit. But I've also been with people, like I said, they'll work with whatever your own particular thing is, whatever the theme is, right? Some people will have such a huge heart opening, it brings them to tears, happy tears. But it's like very common for people the first time to get in the water with the dolphins to just have a heart explosion and just kind of weep and like, wow, this is so beautiful. And it's because they reflect to you who you are. They're divine standing birds. There's no judgment. There's just one divine being to another, acknowledging and experiencing and being in the wisdom. And it reminds you of who you are in that moment so clearly from Source's perspective, from the higher truth of love perspective, right? Without all the conditions of human beings about who we are and how valuable we are. It's like it happens in an instant. So it blasts your heart open, and some people will find it very like emotional in a good way the very first time, because it's just such a explosion of like love, right? Of those little bundles of love. It's really amazing, right? And how, basically it's just pretty amazing. So that's just some examples. I don't know if any of you have any that you want to share. Feel free in the chat as well. Intention is so important when being open. Absolutely. And that's what the power of being in a group like this is as well. Like when the dolphins respond to it 100%, they're probably finally like, oh, wow, some humans that, hey, this is fun too. Like they like it. They will gravitate towards people that have their open awareness and like are open with them in this way as well. I think it's fun. You can tell it's fun for them and they're choosing to be there. One kick of their tail and they could be 7 meters down the road, 14 or 7. Like it's crazy how fast, if they want to be out of there, they're out of there. And you'll see how sometimes, like I said, they might avoid some people, or some people might get out of the water. Not in my groups, but like when you're swimming with a few groups, especially in Hawaii, it would get a little busier. Like, man, I never could catch up with them. It's like, because they want to hang out where you can be and match with them. And I think when we can learn to match with their energy, it's a healing. It's a massive healing in a short time. So it is very exciting. Let's see. I can't see. I have to come back to the things here. Okay. So, okay. Let's see. Sounds pretty daunting and scary being in the ocean with bigger creatures and bigger than you all alone. I saw Jaws and was ocean swimming and great. Yes. Okay. So let me, and actually I'm glad that you said that, because I think spoken or unspoken, that can be a thing. And it's really, in my opinion, a non-issue, especially on the retreat where we're going and how we're swimming with them. So a couple of the biggest fears, and then I want to go in and share just a little bit about this retreat, because when you're working with them energetically, emotionally, spiritually, it's not just a swim. It's a soul initiation, right? You are in there an entire week. So now you're with a group of people in our own little cosmic bubble. And we're setting intention every day. We're doing transformational workshops every day. And we are activating higher energy and intention every day, right? We're doing rituals together to align with our higher path and purpose and awaken our gifts and whatever your own personal healing intention is. And then in between the workshops, so we have a workshop and I was like, let's go get in the salt water with the dolphins, swim, get activated, get integrated, it's an immediate integration when you get in the salt water, first of all, of Satya is like a living, breathing, conscious portal itself. Okay. And then you're with the dolphins in this way. It's like you immediately get to dust off your ruffle, dust everything off and just integrate the energy. And then you go back in. Now we have another activation. You get in, you integrate again, and then you get to go back. And now we have a sound bath at night under the stars. And you get to come back out the next day and do it again and do it again. And so each time it's layered with like this powerful healing integration experience being in the saltwater with the dolphins, coupling in with the energy work and the activations that we're doing. So it's massive transformation, but it's also gentle, powerful, extremely powerful amplifier, but gentle, because you're integrating along the way in such a beautiful way that we don't normally get to experience, right? Also, while being held, in a safe, playful container and with chef prepared meals all day. It's like you're just taken care of, right? It's amazing. Now, I do want to talk about a couple of the most, like the common fears that I get, the most common concerns, I will say, just so that then you can relax in and I can share a bit about the retreat, and then we'll move on to the activation. Okay. The first one I get a lot, and none of these, I feel like they're all non-issues, which is why I wanted to bring them up, right? To ease your mind a little bit. Seasickness, first of all, and I'll show you on the video clip where we're going to be. You'll see that we are in the Red Sea, okay, but we're in a very protected reef, this huge reef that keeps the water extremely calm. So there's a soft sway. We're not on a boat. We're not on a cruise. We get out to our place and we dock and we stay there in that space the whole week, okay? And there's just maybe a soft sway, but you'll see how flat it is because there's a reef that protects and breaks the water, right? So it's not like you're in like a big ocean, right? It doesn't happen like that. The other thing is it's too shallow. It's shallow. So it's not like even though it's in the middle of the Red Sea, it's in a shallow space because of this huge reef that pretty much almost surrounds like a big horseshoe, okay? And so it's not really been an issue, even for people who are scared to it, even people that are prone to it. It is a good idea if you are concerned. There's other things, there's acupressure things, there's different things, ginger chews, there's bonine, there's different things for people when it comes to seasickness if you're super prone to it. But even people that have been prone to it don't get sick there because it's not like you're cruising or in a speedboat in big waves. It's just not the situation. It's a calm, peaceful, protected lagoon all week, okay? And so yeah, it's not a problem. Second, sharks. I think that whether people say it or not, I know that was one of my hugest fears. We will clear some energy of fears ahead of time for sure, just because it does, it does them. And maybe even whether if it stems back to another lifetime or because like you, I saw that was one of my first movies I remember and it scared the bejesus out of me, right? So I totally get it. But I've never been afraid to swim with dolphins for a few reasons, because the truth is, first of all, we're in warm, shallow, protected reef water. That's not where sharks like to hang out. It's not an environment that they enjoy. So it's not really where they go. It's too shallow, it's too warm. But more so than that, it's because dolphins and sharks don't mix. They don't hang out together. Dolphins can hear. Sharks can hear for like 5 miles. Like they can hear in the ocean. Dolphins make a lot of noise. Dee, 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 ee, ee, ee. They play and they are noisy and they have fun, right? So the sharks and the dolphins kind of stay out of each other's lane, basically, because the dolphin pod with their sonar can isolate, freeze, and kill the shark. And the shark knows this. So the shark doesn't go where the dolphins are because they know that is not safe for them. Okay. And the dolphins will protect. So basically they just stay out of each other's lane. And the other thing, yeah, because sharks like the single lazy lone seal. That's easy, right? They're not going to come into a group of dolphins like that because they know they won't win, right? So that's kind of like naturally has created, if you got dolphins around, you're safe. Plus we also have guys that are in the boat. They're doing lookout. They're checking things. They're always there. So you can always hop back in the boat anytime you want. It's a little Zodiac, takes you 2 or 3 minutes to and from where our bigger yacht that we're staying on. And you can get on there at any time. But anyways, it's just a non-issue. For the most part, right? So that's something that I learned over the years and has helped me and know that I felt much safer knowing that. They just don't chill together because the sharks understand they're overpowered in a pod of dolphin. And this is where this pod of dolphin lives. So pretty much they're there. Let's see what I was going to say. I have a friend who had done like over 7 different weeks there in this particular reef, and there's only 1 day out of all of those days that the dolphin weren't there. They live there. Like every night they go out and they hunt and they come back and they rest and play in this reef. This is kind of a resident dolphin pod of about 120 dolphin that stay there year round. And that's just where they stay. It's not like other places where they're swimming and they're going and they're checking things out and kind of hanging out here and there. This is their resident like reef spot, right? The other thing I'd say, a couple people have said, I don't know if I'd get bored or feel off, like being on a boat for a whole week sounds like, I don't know, like I don't know. Like, trust me, what I will say, I don't remember what their thing is. Like, it's just feel like, I'm not sure about being on a boat for a week. That's kind of the thing, right? And let me just say, nobody's ever been bored, especially for highly sensitive people like us. Like, it feels really good. Oh my gosh. Like, it's such a reset. Between dolphin swims, there's incredible food, there's group sharing, there's activation, there's sound baths, there's workshops, there's stargazing, there's reef swimming, because we're on a reef from the boat. You can go to swim in the reefs if you want to. It's the opposite of boring. I'd say people kind of cry at the end, I don't want to leave, right? Like, you're not going to be bored. And the last thing I would say is solo traveling to Egypt, which I totally get, right? As a woman, especially, but anybody really, just traveling by yourself can be daunting. A lot of people on my retreats, they've never traveled before out of the country, or they're afraid about traveling themselves. So I've created a special experience included to make you feel very safe, which is a VIP style arrival. So when you arrive at your gate, you're going to have a trusted guide that I know personally going to be meeting you at your gate. You're going to skip the visa line. It's included as long as you can get visa on arrival, which Canada, US, Europe, like that's visa on arrival. Almost every country can. So check that yourself, but you have to check that yourself. But pretty much most everywhere is visa on arrival now. They'll meet you, they'll stamp your visa, you'll skip the line, which is like an hour. And then you'll go right through immigrations, and they're going to pick up your luggage, and they're going to help you load the car, and they're going to drive you to your hotel. And then they're also going to drive you back to the airport. You're going to get shuttle dropped off probably at the end for you, the airport. But either way, you're being dropped off to. So you don't have to worry about it. You're never going to be alone. It's completely safe. And your first night hotel is also taken care of. So I wanted to take that away, because I think that is a very real fear. And I know I kind of felt like uncertain at first as well. So I get that. So now I want to share just a few minutes about the retreat itself. And I'm just going to kind of show you and walk you through the page, because I think pictures and kind of giving you like, what does this actually look like, will help you tune into it a little bit. And then we're going to do a soul remembrance activation, which I'm very excited about as well. So what airport do you fly into? Into Hurghada, HRG, I believe, but that's also on the website under logistics and FAQ at the bottom. Okay, so let me go ahead and see if I can get to this here for YouTubers as well. So share screen. Okay. And then I'm going to share my screen here for you guys as well. And we're just going to look at a few pictures and video clips and kind of walk you through like the overview. Hold on, I got to cancel this really quick. I know doing two different computer screens is hard to sometimes navigate the whole thing. Okay, here we go. We're ready. This is a picture I actually took on the front page. Well, it's actually a video screenshot from a video that I took while swimming with them this last summer when I was in Egypt in Sataya. Okay, so swim with the wild dolphins in Egypt, awaken your soul gifts, ancient lineages, and soul and sacred waters of Hawaii, of Sataya, 1st through 9th. I have a limited time offer of $300 off and 2 bonuses that will support you that you get right away, 2 bonus workshops, and then an 8-month plan to make it the lowest monthly that I can give you is only available till September 30th. Basically, each month it decreases a little bit, and then the monthly gets a little bit more because you have to have it paid off before we go. I do accept Klarna as well. I can speak to that at the end. So, on mine, this is not, okay, I don't know why that's so funny. My computers keep old caching. There's actually a picture of the full moon on the actual website. I don't know why it's showing that, but this is the boat that we're going to be on. It's a private boat we're going to have to ourselves for the entire time. This is a sunrise I took there. Here's a video clip that I took from swimming with the dolphins. And this is how it looks. I just kind of wanted to show the experience of, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so annoyed if it doesn't come up for Zoomers and YouTubers, right? What the heck? Of course, I test all this before I go, and then it's not wanting to show up. Well, it is on YouTube, so you guys can see it. That's so bizarre. I'm going to look for this in a second here on maybe my Dropbox. Huh. You guys, I'm really sorry. I'm going to put this in the link in here, and maybe you can follow along in your own browser on Zoom, because I don't know why that's not working for us. I'm going to go down. There's another video as well. But this is what it's like. Like you swim up, the dolphins come up, they're all around you, you look, and they go down. And sometimes you'll catch one and they'll just go eye to eye with you. Sometimes you'll see a mama and a baby dolphin. I'll put the link. Let me see if I can get back to giving YouTube the link of the page I'm on, in case you want to try to follow me in a second browser there. Yeah, maybe because I have so many things going, but I'll try to close it down. But I don't usually have this issue. Anyways, okay. So here's what we're going to be doing on our trip, like in terms of the feel of how this retreat might be different than others, right? If it's whispering, ancient Egypt whispering you, maybe this is part for you. If you feel like you're a visionary, intuitive, or heart-led person, this could be for you. If you're drawn to the ancient Egypt, Lemuria, or Atlantis, and you want to awaken those codes and remembrances and gifts from that lifetime, this could be a great place to do it. Longs to soften, surrender, realign with your inner wisdom and divine essence, right? Because they are natural healers. They are natural healers. Okay, sorry, I did, but it went to panelist only on accident. There you go. So they are natural healers. Okay. So whatever your own personal intention is, or whatever it is about aligning to your highest path or soul's timeline, this is naturally part of what happens in the energy work that I provide, but also with swimming with the dolphins. They help to recalibrate your energy field, right? In nature, with community of other like-minded people. When I go on retreats, people become friends. I watch them supporting each other for months down the road. Possibly they'll become lifetime friends. I've seen people travel across the United States to hang out after, which is amazing, right? So you create community, close community, because you have this powerful experience together, and multidimensional healing. If it's for you, if you just you're desiring to have some play, having a break, give to yourself some self-care. I mean, just to remember yourself, like the dolphins are a powerful way to do that. It's going to help you relax your nervous system, release stress, open your heart to states of love and joy and connection, deep cellular level healing, energy alignment through the sonar frequencies of the dolphins, spiritual activation and awakening the codes, and a profound sense of peace and harmony, right, with yourself and the world around you. That's something that you just get. You get like a barometer reset. You come back and you realize, okay, this is how it's supposed to feel, right? How am I overstressing my calendar or my schedule? Every time I go on a retreat like that, I reset and I come back and I get to shift how I get to live my life so that I can be in that vibration more of the time, right? Here's what it actually will look like. We'll be swimming with the dolphins. Typically, a typical day, 2 times a day, sometimes 3. You'll have healing transmissions from the dolphins. They emit these frequencies in the water that calm your heart, calm your nervous system, open your heart, accelerate spiritual awakening. You'll snorkel vibrant reefs if you'd like to, fish, turtle, crystalline waters. You'll activate Lemurian, Atlantean, and Egyptian light codes through our guided meditation journeys and teachings there. You'll receive energy transmissions and as well participate in transformational workshops to help you align, heal, and embody your next level. Experience deep integration with sound bath healings at nighttime, stargazing, sunset, and like being in the sunset and sunrise there is just amazing, right? That helps you commune and align with your soul. Community, of course, and just rest, reflect, and rejuvenate. There will be personal time in there as well. It gives you an opportunity to shed what's not serving you, to trust your intuitive path, and remember who you are and who you came to be. There's going to be a combination of multiple vortexes. By being in the energy of Sataya Reef is a breathing portal of energy right there in the Red Sea of Egypt, as well as with the high frequency of the dolphin, the workshops, comfortable accommodations aboard our Egyptian yacht, which is private. It's set up for snorkelers and divers in mind. So it's really, you'll have an air conditioner in each of the bedrooms and a bathroom in each of the rooms. And you'll be supported by crew who's very attentive to help you, and a chef every day to help cook beautiful meals for you. Breathtaking views of the reef and turquoise clear water, soulful play and connection and healing and community. This is kind of like a glimpse into what a day and a life of our retreat in Sataya would be like. Imagine just swimming, right? Waking up, greeted by the sunrise. It's beautiful, stunning ocean view, the rhythm of the sea, nourishing breakfast. We go for our morning swim with a dolphin. It really is, literally, it's my favorite thing in life. It's like a kid in a candy shop every time. You never get bored of it. It's amazing. And each time is unique and magical. And then just swimming through the waters with your heart open with these wise beings, just whatever, being open to the magic to unfold. And then we'll come back. We'll do some, you might even snorkel and see a turtle, right? You might just enjoy the reef a little bit. And then we'll come back and do some kind of transformational workshop or activation journey. And then later in the afternoon, we'll have a second swim. Again, eye-to-eye exchanges are so precious and powerful, right? So it's morning swim, transformational workshop, perhaps another snorkel or afternoon swim, integration, journaling, reflection, nourishing meals, ceremony, sunset with energy work, or sound healing. We're going to bring crystal and bowls for sound bath healings under the stars. And that's just what it's like. So let's see if this one wants to cash for us. So here's another one. I put a couple of, this is a mama and a baby. So you might see a mama and a baby. It's like, and then sometimes you'll see them like try to do their little swims, and it's like a toddler learning to walk, and they're kind of just, they're so cute, which is always fun. There's something heart opening. That's a little dolphin nookie. You might see that kind of a lot. They like that. They do love their love. And then here's what one, this is a dolphin that just floated back with me for like, I was with him for like 15 or 20 minutes, but look at how slow he's going in eye to eye. He's staying with me and just transmitting like this personal experience. We were off kind of outside of the group slightly, and he was hanging back. Look at that, just staying with me. One kick, and I'm telling you, even their gentle swim, they're way past you. So when they choose to be with you like this, I mean, it's just so special. I'm going to see if this one is showing. It's still not showing up. It's darn. There's one that has like a whole group of them, like a large group. Check out the page later, and you'll see the large group of them coming up. So here's our boat. This is what it looks like. This is a boat. We go through, you have our deck here. This is where we get out into the water or launch onto the little tours. That's the picture. So I'm just kind of, they're on different speeds. This is the upper deck. So you can see how calm it is. You see this huge reef that surrounds the whole area. So out there is the deep, big blue, right? That's where it gets big waves. That's where other bigger animals might be, right? But we're in this like lagoon, basically. And it's all around you. This is kind of what it looks like when you have a lot of them around you. That's part of the video that won't load for me on the Zoom people. Here's some of the beautiful sunsets, turtles, sunsets, more dolphin, some of the reef. This is beautiful reef. I actually got diving certified there. You can see clams. Here's the dining area, right? So I want to show you also one more view of like the actual room. So, and this is real picture, like that's from my swim. I took a swim, and that's actually right at the surface even. You can just snorkel for that one. So pricing and accommodations, you can go down there. I have some different pricing plans I'll share with you in a minute, but I want to share what's included. 7 nights aboard the private Egyptian yacht, 1 night stay in a 5-star all-inclusive resort upon arrival, VIP style arrival, assuming you can get on-demand visa, which I don't know any countries that don't, but I say that just in case you can't. You got to check that. But that's included. Pickup, hotel pickup and transfer. 3 chef prepared meals a day. Plus, of course, they have like really yummy fruit drinks every day after our swims that are so good. And then 2 times is average, sometimes 3 a day. Transformational workshops, activations, snorkeling with the reefs. Time for integration. There is no alcohol aboard. They don't allow alcohol for safety of everybody, and I think for the energetic alignment of what we're doing. But on a dive and snorkeling retreat like this, they just don't. So just FYI. Okay, so right now we have $300 off. We have a special 8-plan payment plan, the most extended I can offer until September 30th. You do get these extra bonus workshops, Cosmic Whale Wisdom and Embodied Love. If you happen to have this, if you're an SSU student and you have this already, I could exchange it. But these are the 2 that I think really matched like the workshop that we're doing. If you need to do Klarna, I've seen it as low as $122 per month, right? If you do Klarna or Affirm, and I'll tell you how to do that in a second. Basically, you click the in full payment amount. You can't pick any of the payment plans. You have to pick the in full payment amount, and then underneath it, I'll show you choose Klarna or Affirm, and it will give you, you pay through them, and then you can get a lower amount possibly. Okay. Zoom. I thought this is why I like Zoom. It's more stable, but it's not right now. So on the page, you'll see right here, I walk around the bow of the boat all the way around. You're going to see this reef surrounding the whole boat and how calm the water is. And also, like I said, it's much more shallow here. And so that doesn't lend to larger animals. Right? So here's the double occupancy. So the cabins have 2 beds. You'll always be paired with somebody of your same gender. So you might have to, so most likely we can usually get you paired up, right? But just know that you will always be paired with somebody of the same gender just to make sure everyone feels comfortable, right? There are 2 twin beds, a bathroom and air conditioner in each room. And then here is the pricing. It's on sale for $34.97 for a limited time. And you also have these payment plans as low as $438 through me, or I'm just going to show you very quickly on Klarna because people get confused assuming it opens. No, we're going to do the activation in like probably 2 minutes. So how you do that is you check in full, okay, to see what it is. So you click, make sure the top in full payment, and then when you come down a little lower, you click either affirm as low as $225, $122. So let's see, you click affirm to see what they offer, and then you can also see what Klarna offers, right? And it'll be different per person. It's through them and you, so it depends on your own situation with them and what they offer. But then that's another way to pay if you want to have a more extended payment plan. So that is the, yeah, that's what it is. It's going to be amazing. Let me check this out and stop screen sharing everywhere, and then we're going to do our activation. I just want to see if there's any questions. StreamYard, add to stage, remove. Okay, back to me. Back to me, folks. That's so funny. Of course, like usually I like Zoom because it's so stable. I'm not sure why those won't load for me. I'm completely connected to hardwired internet with a high volume. The flights, that's going to vary. You know what I mean? It's going to vary where you're coming from. How much are the flights is the question. I have seen them, you know, from California, I've seen them starting at $1,500. It really depends on where you're coming from. And it depends on what type of seats you choose, right? And it depends on how many layovers and just the situation. But it is a shoulder month, so it's not as expensive as like super high season. So it shouldn't, you know what I mean? It's pretty reasonable in my opinion. Let's see, Kelly says, the community I found in Mount Shasta was huge, but very welcome bonus. It was an amazing being with that tribe. What kind of camera do you use? On that one, it's a GoPro, but I also have an Instant 360 that I just got for the next one. Okay, so I think, yeah, I will come back to these questions. Hi, Lindsay, Christy, good to see you here. I find dolphins and manatees every time I go on the boat. I wear my Larimer stone. Yes, I love that so much. That's super awesome. I just Googled 21. Yeah, so it just depends. That's from Victoria, right? But I would say it really is going to vary. Even from my location, it's going to vary even $1,000 sometimes, depending on which flight you use, which how many layovers, you know what I mean, what type of seat you want to get, and all of that. So 15 to 2,000 is probably a very accurate range for most people, but it's hard to say. Oh, you're on an island, so it's more expensive, and that's honestly doesn't seem that bad because that's Canadian, right? So 1,500 is the average, I think, from states, from US. But it just depends. Like I said, you know, there's lots of variables there. Okay. Also, when do you book your flight? Last minute or early? You know what I mean? There's all those kinds of things. We have plenty of times. Is there a possibility for people who cannot swim? You do have to be able to swim on this one. There is, if you haven't snorkeled before, it would be fine. We can do a little training. They have a floaty ring. You know what I mean? Like you can do that, but like for you to use on your own. But if you don't swim at all, it probably wouldn't be for you because we are in the open water. You know, but if you've never snorkeled, we'll have a snorkeling, like we'll teach you that day. And you know what I mean? We can help you get comfortable with that and that'll be easy. But I do suggest that you can swim comfortably because even if you've never snorkeled, that's fine. But not swimming at all, I don't think would work for this trip, unfortunately. Just being in the open water that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the activation now, and then I'll stay on if anybody has any particular retreat questions. I'll go back through and check this out. Okay, all right, everybody. I think that's all the questions. So let's go ahead and do our activation because I'm very excited about this. I always tune in to the energy. And I tuned in, you know, I already picked this topic as what came through, you know, several weeks ago when I first decided to do this. But this morning I tuned into the energy of our group, who's going to be here and what would be a great activation for exactly how to guide this. So let's go ahead and close our eyes and do the activation. The intention of this activation is a soul remembrance activation, right? Awakening the Lemurian, Atlantean, and Egyptian timelines within you. And it will also, because we'll be working with the energy of the ocean and Sataya's energy and the dolphins, you'll kind of get to feel in a little bit more if this feels like something that you'd be interested in doing more of, right? It might give you a little idea if this feels like the right retreat for you. So take a moment to just close your eyes and take a few nice, deep cleansing breaths into your body and into your heart. You might even place your hand on your heart or your belly just to start to connect with your breath. Really just bringing in and tuning in to the rise and fall of your chest. And just start to slowly deepen that breath. And on the exhale, just let go of anything that might be going on in your mind and just start to let your body soften and relax. And from this space, you can just start to imagine grounding in and anchoring in to the earth. So just feel your energy from the root of your spine, right? Golden light, grounding you and anchoring you into the crystalline core of Gaia. And just anchoring into that energy far beneath Sataya in the Red Sea of Egypt. And just feel that connection and that energy, knowing that you're held and supported. Beautiful. Now just imagine, whether you see, feel, or intend. We all have active imagination, so if you're not visual, that's okay. But if you are visual, visualize, right? You just start to notice and look out beyond you and see the Red Sea, right? Just to feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Maybe the sun sparkling on the water like diamonds. That beautiful shimmering turquoise, calm, clear, alive water. And it feels so inviting that you decide just to slip in to the water for a swim as you're arriving into Sataya, the sacred dolphin lagoon, which is this protected, you can just feel the energy, right, of this multi-dimensional portal, allowing the energy of the earth and the ocean to actually be a part of this healing activation. This portal is holding crystalline codes from Lemuria, Atlantis, ancient Egypt. And again, it's more than just a place, it's a soul remembrance, right? So just take a deep breath and really feel yourself fully arrive into this field of energy. And as you begin to swim, you start to sense the energy of the dolphins. So just inviting in the consciousness and the energy of the dolphins and dolphin medicine consciousness. And as you continue to swim, you start to feel their joy. You start to feel their presence, their playfulness, their love. And you just allow that energy to permeate throughout your body and being. And as you continue to swim, you notice there's one dolphin that begins to swim directly towards you. And they pause, just looking in your eyes, swimming next to you. Really connecting with you consciously. Recognition, there becomes this soul recognition between your eyes and the dolphins when you have this heart-to-heart, soul-to-soul, eye-to-eye connection. And just feel that energy expand into your heart. In fact, continue to take those deep breaths so you can just allow their frequency to enter into your field. And this is your dolphin soul guide for this activation journey, here to support you in awakening your remembrance. If you have a particular intention, you can always set your own intention now as well. But just allow yourself to receive their sonar energy, right? The gentle wave of light and sound. Just allow that to permeate through your body and through your being. So allowing that to have your body and your cells and your energy begin to match this vibration, opening that portal to your own ancient soul's memories. Your dolphin guide is now leading you through a beautiful golden doorway beneath the water. And as you move through this doorway, you enter into Lemuria, right? You feel into the field of Lemuria. This land was filled with peace, unity, consciousness, telepathy, crystalline waters. Maybe you were a healer during this time. Just allow yourself to remember the connection with nature, that beautiful symbiotic connection and harmony with nature that the Lemurians had, with the stars, with the cosmos, with the ocean, with the dolphins, with community, with each other. And just feel that soft vibration of the Lemurian light codes being activated within your heart, within your soul, within your body, of compassion, intuition, harmony. Beautiful. And now you're being shown and moving into the Atlantean timeline. You're shown a memory or entering the energy field of Atlantis. If you're not sure if you were there, I feel like a lot of you were. Perhaps it's a temple, right? Or a healing chamber. Or maybe beside a dolphin who you worked with as an energetic co-creative healer or creator of what you guys were creating in that lifetime, right? There's just so much innovation and expansion that happened. Maybe it's a mastery of certain technology or crystalline energy, or really awakening you to your purpose work. Some people feel pain or guilt stored in a body in regards to Atlantis because of how the fall of Atlantis happened. So just if that's for you, then just allow the dolphins to assist you in clearing any fear or guilt stored in your body from that time. You might see, feel, or imagine just golden light washing over you so that you can reclaim your power, your wisdom, your information from that timeline. Beautiful. And finally, you're guided to ancient Egypt, the energy of ancient Egypt. You might even see before you a water temple or a priestess pool of water. You might see a goddess, right? Maybe Isis or Hathor or Ra, or you might see any of those ancient Egyptian deities, or you just might feel or see sacred geometry surrounding you. And just allow the dolphins to help remind you and awaken where you've walked before, carrying the codes of this land in your body, in your soul. And just receive this activation as a divine remembrance, as your role as a wayshower, a healer, a starseed, bridging heaven and earth. Beautiful. As you exit from this portal, you notice there's a group of dolphins now swimming in a circle around you, creating this vortex of crystalline light. Might even look like a prism of energy, anchoring you into your highest timeline. You can see, feel, imagine, intend that you're aligning with your highest path, your highest soul's blueprint that's embodied with joy, with purpose, with clarity, with guidance, with support, healing, abundance, whatever it is you feel called. Your highest timeline is really encompassing all of this, right? That's a natural state of who you are, who you came to be. Allowing this energy vortex to also help you collect your energy fragments. Maybe you have soul fragments scattered across timelines in these times and places, and you're just allowing it like to effortlessly magnetize to you, integrating into you now, like integrating your energy into this present moment, into this timeline. And just take a few more nice deep breaths in, just allowing this healing to finalize itself. And you can take a moment to just thank your dolphin guide, take the energy of the ocean, if any other spirit guides showed up for you. And just knowing that you can return here anytime, right? You can return to this energy, the powerful energy in Satya where this portal lives. Start to take a moment to start to call your attention back to your body and breath. So maybe put your hand on your heart or your belly and start to take a few nice deep breaths, just focusing on the rise and fall of your chest. You might gently start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, pat your legs, roll your shoulders. And when you feel complete, you can open your eyes. And you can even ask while you're in this space, maybe you've got something. Sometimes I like to ask, is there a message for you, right? Or maybe you got a vision or a remembrance or just a feeling that you want to remember. It's always a good idea to write that down. It's not too late to ask your higher self or your dolphin guide, is there a next step or message for you? You can even take a minute to do that if you'd like. Beautiful. Awesome. I always love the energy of activations, right? And if you feel this soul calling deeper, maybe Satya is calling, you definitely can reach out and ask any other questions. Any other questions you might have about whatever we talked about today, my experience with the dolphins or the retreat, which I'd love to have you, of course. It is filling up. I'd say it's over halfway full. So just know that it is limited, being that we have our own private boat, which is exciting. Kelly says $1,200 from Nashville. Awesome. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a range. You can search around. And right now it's early enough that you're going to get good rates, right? It's when you start to wait last minute that sometimes those options start to dwindle, right? Okay. And yes, somebody was asking about snorkeling. So you don't have to have snorkeled. You can there. Yeah. So you don't have to have snorkeled before, and you will get a little bit of, we can do a little training the first day if needed. I would also suggest if you have a pool at a gym or ability to get to a pool, you can practice ahead of time. It's really not that hard. I do suggest being able to swim though, because we are in open water the entire time. And I think just for safety and just for being able to experience the dolphins, that part would be important for this particular retreat. Unless the retreat sounded exciting and you weren't planning to get in the water, then of course you're welcome, right? But if you wanted to get in the water, then you have to feel comfortable swimming. Even if you've never snorkeled, that part's easy. And we can help you with that the first day. Okay, I saw a tiny nickel-sized pyramid that went to my third eye, and then I became small, like a normal human size next to the pyramid, and then back and forth. Awesome. So it looks like you got a little ching, ching, ching. I love working with, oh my gosh, it's escaping me, the cat goddess, Sekhmet. Sekhmet. I mean, it could be another goddess for you. It could just be an Egyptian activation in your third eye, which is amazing. But Sekhmet also for me is very much like the third eye from Egypt goddess. I experienced tinglings in my muscles, jumping in my legs, and I kept seeing flashes of light in a pool of some kind of blue water. And I saw my dolphin guide was so playful. Awesome. Keep playing with it. My very first dolphin guide, I kind of resisted. I'm like, what's your name? And she's all Sally. I'm like, Sally, that's not a dolphin name. Like I got all in my head about they'll come to whatever. It's just whatever you agree upon. But Sally, my dolphin guide, has been with me since 2009, and of course I have other dolphin guides I work with too, but they are powerful healers and guides in this lifetime as well. I saw Cleopatra for Egypt. I love that. Beautiful. During Lemuria, the dolphins did a figure 8 around my back and root chakra and helped my expansion. My guide is Ataya. Yay! I love that. I had Madfa. I love that you guys are just already calling out your goddesses and your guides. If you didn't, that's okay. You can ask later, and it doesn't have to happen. Oh, Sobek was on my mind. I almost said Sobek out loud in the meditation. Actually, I think I saw that energy actually. So the cat goddess, I think, that I see that as Sekhmet, who I also saw in the meditation. Mafdet, cheetah goddess, awesome. Sobek, I'm not familiar with that one, Alicia. I also saw the death of someone kind of armor when going through Atlantis. I have no idea what that meant, but the armor and the body was going through the body laying on the ground. It didn't feel emotional. I think there's a lot of, because Atlantis had a great collapse. So a lot of light workers remember, or you might have just been seeing the great fall, right? Kind of like that spiritual war that happened in Atlantis. So a lot of light workers have a lot of karma and trauma to heal around that as well. And so that's why I think that came in. You're probably clearing that, because I called out specifically clearing out that kind of energy. So it might have been another lifetime you were there during that time that you didn't remember that was helping to be released, because that sort of was an intention that I said during the meditation. See, during Atlantis, I saw myself outside under cancel, under the sea, and a voice stolen said, I reclaimed my musicality. Yes, similar to Ariel. Oh, I love that, right? Because I've been clearing a lot of other life traumas. Awesome. Very cool. Isn't it amazing? We can even just tap into that here. Imagine what it's like in person for the whole week together in the dolphins, multiple times, and then doing like directed energy work in a small, safe group, right? It's just going to be amazing. Wow. Let's see. Christy says, wow, I even opened up my light language more. Thank you. You're a blessing. I'm going to make this happen for myself. Yay, Christy. I can't wait. You're going to love it. Let's see. I'm interested in the trip and I'm ready to get over my fear of the water of signing up to go for swimming lessons. You're amazing. Way to go. You know what? I had people I took on my swim with the humpback whale retreat in August. And that's in the deep open water on a boat. So that's a whole different scenario than what we're doing here. Like ours is a pretty safe, connected. Fear is real though. A lot of times attached to other lifetimes, right? So we'll be working that energy on the group, but I love how you took initiative to just start doing that now, right? Reach out to me if you have any questions or need any help with that. I could help give you some suggestions maybe. But I love that you said that, because 3 of the people, we had a small group, and 3 of the people were really afraid and not comfortable in the water. And I was like, wow, thank you for trusting me and for trusting yourself and trusting this process, for coming in and getting in the deep, big blue ocean with the big humpback whales are like, you know what I mean? And there are bigger animals in the sea, because it's a different scenario than where we're at on this private reef. And so we work that energy of those kinds of fears before, the first night. We do a lot of that. And actually probably on our pre-retreat call, I usually work this energy as well. So I help you through that, because I know that that's a real thing. I plan to learn how to swim properly. Are you going to offer dolphin retreats in the future? Yes, this is not till, by the way, next May. But yeah, my intention is to probably, you never know about what the future things bring, especially in some places as far as Egypt, because I have retreats in Bali and Shasta and Maria and, all kinds of places. But I would very much hope to do another retreat. I plan to do at least another retreat in dolphins as well, because it is my favorite thing in life. So if I can take people to experience my favorite thing in life, the most transformation I've experienced, the high level of healing I've had and activations I've had from them, I definitely want to continue to, for sure. So I do plan to do it again. I just don't know, it's like, you have to see what that entails. But you still have a lot of time, because not till May, right? You have no idea, when I shower and the water hits my face, it sounds like I'm drowning because I'm really struggling, but that was kind of the trauma. Oh, I'm so glad that you're working through the energy. Awesome. Okay, well, everybody, you helped us get over that fear. Oh, Lupus, Jordan's here. She was on my humpback whale swim. Yes, and she was one who was not comfortable. Really, and her family was even kind of like, "You're not comfortable in the water. Are you sure you want to go?" And she's like, yeah, my soul's telling me." And she did it, and she rocked it, and it was amazing. She's, and after the first time, I was like, "When do we go again? We can't wait to go again." So yeah, we definitely work through that energy a couple different times for people. Okay. All right, everybody. I think that's everything that I see here. I will come back to the chat in case I missed any questions. I'm going to put the Dolphin, the page retreat. If my team can put that in YouTube, would be great. I'm going to put it here as well. Check it out. Reach out with questions. Like I said, it's already, I think there might be somewhere between 6 and 8 spots left. So there's not a huge amount of spots left. So check it out. Let me know if you have questions. If you need a lower payment plan, the lowest one I offer is ending in September, and that's an 8-payment plan. And again, you can try that in full, then check Klarna or Affirm to see if that might help you as another option. All right, everybody. Oh, Miss Melanie's here. Hi, Melanie. Good to see you here. And Jordan's here. Jordan's coming. All right, amazing. I'm so happy about this. Thank you. And everything after that is drowning. Oh yeah. So this is like a huge core pattern for you. Nice. You're really going after it. Awesome. All right, everybody. Lots of love to you. I can't wait to see you again. I hope to see you on this trip or one of my other retreats. It's been amazing to do this work and to meet you guys in person and to hang out. It's just like so much fun. So thank you for being here. I look forward to talking with you again soon, and feel free to hit reply to any email with any questions about it. Okay. All right. Bye for now.